Well, let's go ahead and call the meeting to order for Wednesday, May 8th at, let's see, 6:04 PM. Chelsea, you want to do a quick roll call for us?
Yes. Alex, she is absent tonight. Ryan,
Here. Present.
David said he was going to be absent as well. Dawn,
Present.
Kim did say she was going to be absent as well. Peck,
Present.
Will,
Present.
Lori. Perfect.
Any changes to the agenda that anybody has? Nope. Okay. Consent agenda, approval of minutes. Anybody want to make a motion? Can't hear you, Ryan.
I motion that we approve the minutes from last month's or 2 months ago meeting.
Excellent. Second.
I'll second.
All righty. All those in favor say aye.
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 All righty. Okay. Public comment. I don't think we have any public with us this evening. No, okay. Consent, we did that. Old business, new business, none, old business. Got a lot of reports tonight. Rochelle, do you want to talk, or I guess it's John Wallace. John, you want to talk to us about the branding?
Perfect. So as you know, a couple months ago, we went through the base camp options, and we made some suggestions, right? We narrowed it down to 2 different options. It was the one you see before us, and then it was the one with the topographical lines inside of the base camp. And then we adjusted those to be of the park space itself. And the other suggestion you guys had was to see if we can include in one option both color palettes that actually are a part of our style guide. And they made those adjustments. We presented this to City Council on Monday for their approval, and they voted after some discussion for option 1 as their preferred logo for our base camp action sports park in Cedar Park. So you are now looking at our official logo for the skate park, pump track, and jump line right now.
So the brown,
or you can, what was that?
so the brown and red and orange one?
Both. So both of these
Oh,
are
both.
in as one of the packages,
Very nice.
which was what you guys asked for. If we could kind of consolidate both of those into one option, and they said, yeah, of course. Spoken Wheel Company, the designers did. And then I think really the vibe I got was that this spoke more to the fact that it's a skate park pump track with the crank and the wheels and the skate park. It felt more on brand for what we're trying to represent there.
Very nice.
That's really my update. If anyone has any questions about it or comments, go ahead and take them. But yeah, that was really the update for us.
Hey, John, oh, I can see it now. Sorry, my screen was hiding it. Never mind. I was going to ask about the green because we can use that alternatively, right? But
yeah, we can use any of these 2 color scheme packets and any of the patches and logos. So what will happen next is we'll reach out to Spoken Wheel, and they'll give us these files digitally, and they'll be able to break them down piece by piece. So it won't just be on a PDF page. And then we can choose to do, like, you could do a hat with just this logo, or you could do stickers with just this logo, and really isolate them and itemize them out, which will be cool.
seasonal.
Very nice.
Yep.
Very, very nice. Lori, what was the tone of the discussion with the city council on this? Or maybe we lost Lori. All right.
Nope, I'm here. You got me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, there were just some questions about like color palette. They liked the fall colors. The topo lines were popular with some council, but ultimately, they liked the spokes. The decision was to go with that spoke one that you guys had also picked out, which I'm excited about because I think it looks great.
Good. Well, I'm glad they liked it. I know that it might have been a little confusing for some folks to have a facility within a facility have a name, but I think it's a positive step for us.
Yeah, I agree.
So, all righty. Any other comments, questions, or concerns?
Don, if I may, just one comment. The other thing that the council thought was interesting, and we've heard as staff through this process, is how excited people were that there was another set of Sandy style colors. And the mayor had actually mentioned how this might be sort of the kickoff to the Sandy style, introducing some of those fall colors into our color scheme, maybe citywide. So we're kind of excited to hear that too, because the blues and the greens and the grays are great, but it was sort of this undiscovered color palette that I think we're excited to push out too. So
Very nice. Once again, Parks and Rec kind of leading the charge and dragging the city, kicking and screaming along behind. Very, very nice. All righty. Well, without any other comments, let's move on to item number 3. Tiana, talk to us a little bit about the Tupper Park Playground and what's going on there.
A lot of good things are going on there. Tentatively and hopefully this coming Monday, the 13th, we will start mobilizing to replace the play structure. And this is what that play structure is going to look like. One view, one angle of it that we'll see go in at Tupper. Possibly as soon as next week, we'll see that work happen.
Very good. And are you doing it yourself or are you bringing in a contractor to do that?
We were able to outsource the demolition and the installation as part of the package.
Good move.
Yes, very
Well,
excited to have some help with that.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of liability with that too, so that's always a good thing.
There sure is, and my team's just doing a lot of really awesome things, but I think
Very
this
nice.
looks
Looks
little
like you have
beyond
a
us right
couple
now.
of holes. Looks like you have a couple of holes dug and a tree waiting to go in one.
We do. So we had Arbor Day on April 26th, and we had a great turnout with volunteers that came out and helped us plant 12 trees at Tupper Park. And they also, one individual in particular helped us redo all the benches around the park that were old and splitting and just pretty unsightly. So there's some great photos of what they look like now.
Nice.
So Tupper is getting a pretty good facelift overall. And then our next item is going into Tickle Creek Trail. So the trail is open. Most
Yay.
importantly, most excitedly, the trail is open. Right here, you see a photo of where a very large fir uprooted and it took a good chunk of the trail with it. So we repaired it and there's the trail intact, and Public Works helping us out, rebuild the trail right there. This is a photo of Bridge 1. We had some pretty significant damage. A lot of stuff came down right in this area. So it was took us the longest to open right here. So we had a lot of hazards that had to be addressed. That's what held us up, but it is open. And we are working through a process to explore possibly offering permits to harvest firewood. As you see, there is a ton of downwood still out there. We've gotten some out. I'm going to be working with Public Works hopefully next week to take a load to see about having it milled and having usable lumber to repair other amenities within our parks. But even while doing that, there is still just a ton of wood out there. So we're exploring it. There is interest. We've had a lot of people from the community reach out and ask if they can have the wood. We're trying to look and research how we can do that equitably and fair and safely from everyone involved. So more information will be coming on that in the future.
Very good. Boy, some of that wood looked pretty rotten in the center there.
It sure is.
then just
Unfortunately, a lot of the tree health is declining.
That were those oaks or was that cottonwood that was laying there?
That's cedar right there.
Oh, cedar.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's a cedar and some alder, I think. But the rounds that you see all cut up at the cedar.
Yeah. Wow.
And then
That's,
real quick, if I can just add a couple of things too, just going back to Tupper Park, and then just to jog everybody's memory too, the reason that we put that at the top of the list of a replacement is because the original Tupper Playground was unsafe. And so fortunately, we were able to get that pushed through. And the good thing is that's getting paid out of SDCs, the reimbursement portion of it. And if you all recall, we were able to, with the last methodology, bring in a reimbursement portion. And so that's helping pay for it. But there is a fundraising aspect to that. And we're going to continue our fundraising efforts to help offset some of the cost to bring that in and install it. So just thanks to the parks team for addressing some pretty serious safety concerns with that and being able to pay for that with reimbursement SDCs. And
Yeah,
then,
well,
oh, go
thank
ahead.
goodness we have reimbursement SDCs. That's that would be a project that would just be remove the old playground and not replace it, I would suspect, if we didn't have the ability to use the reimbursement SDCs.
Yeah, and we actually, when we first started to explore replacing that, we had a couple of playground representatives come out, and one even had said, you know, this is a tear down, a complete tear down, because you can't, there was enough stuff about it that they said start over. So definitely glad to have that. And then with Tickle Creek too, just to add on to that, you'll start to see some information, but we are modeling some of the wood harvests that the community would come in and be able to harvest some of that wood based on how the National Forest handles its annual collect wood for firewood. So we're taking a look at that as a model. So we're not necessarily starting from scratch, but take a look at when that time comes, you'll see information and postings, and we're hoping to do it in a way that will help the parks crew out, save some time, and provide some much needed fuel reductions and fuel for the community if they would like to harvest some of that wood. So just my 2 thoughts on that.
Very good. All righty. Rochelle, looks like you're up still on grand opening of the Cedar Creek Trail. I want to apologize right up front that I totally spaced that. I realized that I was over in West Lynn at a grocery store. I was like, oh crap, I'm supposed to be in Sandy in 10 minutes. So didn't quite make that one.
Yeah, well, we missed you, but it was a wonderful turnout. People braved the weather, which I thought was fantastic. And we had refreshments and little, we had stickers that was a commemorative memorabilia from the grand opening, and great article in the paper that talked about how people showed up, and some people ran it, some people walked it, but it was, I thought it was a really nice turnout for the first time that we've opened a trail, and I believe in the last 10 years, and thank you, Councilor Smallwood was there. So she helped, she represented and helped cut the ribbon, and Mayor Pulliam and Will, thank you for being there. That was wonderful. And so and kudos to the parks team. Took a lot of work. It's an interesting area in that it used to be, as we all know, a previous dump at the very top of it. And so we've worked creatively around that on how to problem solve that. And so that was something that was exciting that happened since we met last. And just a quick update, monetarily on this one too. So the whole project it was about $70,000 to complete this whole project, including that 30-foot bridge that we see here in the pictures. And this was paid for through $36,000 of a grant that we received from the Oregon Park and Recreation Department. And then this also was subsidized by $35,000 in SDCs to complete this park. And that's a pretty economical number to build a trail that was 3/4 of a mile long. So pretty proud of the team and the parks team too. They really stepped in and helped drive those numbers down. So all in all, we're pretty excited about how it turned out. If you haven't had a chance, hike it. It's beautiful. There's some really unique features. Like if you happen to walk it, there's a tree that looks like Mother Nature just picked it up and placed it randomly. It's just magical. So take a look if you have a chance to hike it. So pretty excited about it.
Very nice. All righty. Well, let's go from there to the dog park, shall we?
Absolutely. And then Tiana you and I can tag team this. Tiana was out there all day today cutting in and building stairs. But one of the goals was to complete the Sandy Bluff Dog Park. And this is a picture of how the small dog park was relocated to basically the, let's see, what is it? The west side of the park. I'm getting my directions right. Correct me if I'm not. But we relocated that. We cut in stairs so people could access part of the dog park from stairs. We added a ADA accessible area. We have a 12 by 12 shelter that's going in in the dog park area. And so you can see here, this is where they put the posts in and they laid the rock, and then there'll be some future pictures where this is the 16 by 28 foot shelter that's in pod, Tiana, what is it, 3 or 2? 3?
3.
3, thank you. And then here's the smaller one again with the frames. And so just some pictures showing the progress as they're doing the install. And yeah, they have the roof on. And then Tiana, I don't know if you want to give a quick update on what you worked on today, but they should have put the metal roofing on. Yeah, great. There's a picture. But Tiana, if you want to talk a little bit about where you guys left off today, that'd be great.
Chelsea, are you the one sharing right now? I did Google chat you guys a photo just a little while ago, so there's an updated photo that this staircase is in. We have some finishing touches to do, but there are stairs there now. And the metal started going on the roof of the structures today, and a lot of the excess soil started leaving the park. As I was leaving this afternoon, the contractor was starting to work to really cut the path in, so lot of movement out there today, even from what the photos showed already.
Good. I know there's a lot of people that are very excited for the Yappy Hour.
Should be fun.
I think it'll be total chaos, so it will be fun.
And then regarding that project, oh, great.
There it
Yeah.
is.
Oh, nice.
Nice job, Tiana. And then, of course, just ending this, if you guys have any questions, the Sandy Bluff, the project budget for that was close to $155,000. And again, I have to put my plug in for Oregon Park and Recreation Department. They supplied us with a grant for $68,000 to help complete this project, and then $66,000 for SDCs to help complete this. And then previously, there had been a bunch of fundraising for the Sandy Bluff Park improvement, and there's $20,000 in the trustee account specifically earmarked for the upgrades that will also be spent to accomplish these upgrades. So there's a rundown of the budget on that one.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay, let's get to the main event, shall we? Let's talk about Cedar Park.
Okay, I am going to share my screen, and I figured pictures and video probably is 1,000 words as opposed to me just rattling on about how excited I am about this project. But let me share with you all drone footage, and we can talk a little bit about the process and what's going to happen next. But I'm hoping this, can everybody see this picture, the aerial of the, okay, so here.
Yeah, it's great.
So let's see.
I love the low-lying fog over the Sandy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I was hoping it wouldn't do that, but we'll see. And usually there's music. John, can you sing for us? Yeah, okay. Yeah, and even if you go out there now, they've made additional progress, and it's showing a time lapse. Like, this is the storm detention trench to catch all the storm water from the site and from the surrounding area. And then this is it covered. And then what we'll start to do is we'll put in the walking path, and you can see here, this is where the playground's going to go eventually. And when you go out there now, this is all being graded. So lots and lots of movement happening.
Are you getting any calls from the public asking about it?
Actually, no, I speak most frequently to the neighbors on Scenic, but that's mainly to keep them updated on when the right-of-way improvements are going to happen. But more enthusiastic, like when's the skate park going to be open and the pump track? So more along that line, but not a lot.
I had just like a totally random encounter. I guess the encounter with my hairdresser, the person that cut my hair, wasn't random, but she was mentioning something about seeing Facebook comments, kind of negative Facebook comments, like, why are we spending so much money on this skate park? Isn't that a place where the high school students just go and smoke weed and do drugs and this and that and whatever? And I said, oh, well, I mean, my husband uses it and his friends use it, and there's a bunch of pro skaters, and that's kind of one of the reasons why we did this. And, it's going to be a good, it's going to be a good attraction for the city, etc. And she was really surprised. She was just like, oh, adults use a skate park? And so just really depends on the demographic. I think that is who knows. I think there's still a little bit of an idea out there that it's just something that kids use only, and the bad kids at that. So
Oh, maybe the bad adults are going out to smoke some weed and skate too, so who knows? All righty. Well, that's exciting. I did happen to drive by there today, and it was a beehive of activity, all kinds of stuff going on. So I'm really excited. When does the other contractor move in, the actual skate park constructors?
Yeah, that's a great question. They actually will mobilize May 20th.
Okay,
Yep. And the work that you'll see if you drive down there now is they're actually doing a rough grade for the location of the skate park, pump track, and jump line. So the general contractor's preparing the site for the design build contractor, specialty contractor to come in and actually start to cut and form and build up that action sport element part of it. So it'll happen fast. As a project manager, you have to be careful over promising schedules, but right now everything seems to be on schedule for what we had anticipated opening up, December of 2024, early 2025. So let's hope that's still the case. I think there's a lot of people chomping at the bit to use it and get that space back open again. I can try to share this. I do have some aerial flyovers of the skate park and pump track, and we can see if that works. I know there was a little bit of a delay, but I would be happy to try to show this. And then kind of give you an idea of how truly epic this skate park, pump track, and jump line is going to be for the Pacific Northwest. I mean, it is the first in the Pacific Northwest that has a combined skate park, pump track, and jump line of this size. And John has been, again, once, our fearless leader in speaking with Red Bull to see if we can't start to get some competitions lined up on the UCI pump track, qualifying pump track, which is going to be a pretty major economic driver for the city of Sandy. But as you can see here, this is the flyover of the skate park. There's some really neat, unique elements in there. Like you can see the fish run. The blue coping is going to match the essence of, the Sandy River. And
sorry, Rochelle, are you playing a video?
Did it not work?
no, but
Yeah.
No.
you were
I love
so
your
vivid in
description.
your descriptions, I could see it
Yeah.
in my mind's eye.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was so excited because I can see it on my screen.
Can I have you come in and teach my kids how to write description words?
Yeah, let me try again. Thank you, Peck. I could have kept going. Hold on.
That was
Sorry to
over.
interrupt the flow.
I'm glad.
There we go.
Wait, can you see it now?
Yeah, but it's almost over. You gotta start over again.
Okay, now you guys can live in my world. Okay, hold
Okay.
on. Someone else describe it this time. No, I'm kidding. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me start over. Blue coping with fish run and And then you can see too, it'll fly out a little bit. And you can see where the asphalt pump track connects with the skate park and the jump lines. And there's those fish I was talking so passionately about that nobody could see previously. And the blue coping and I think this is called a wedding cake, Peck. I'm not sure if I've been trying to search that term, but that's a skating term. So, but there's a good mix of transition and street. And then when they pan out here, you'll be able to see the pump track, which is 20,000 square feet as well, UCI competition rated. So we'll have Red Bull, and they plan for the grand opening. ARC talked about bringing out some Olympic skaters, and I'm going to try to get the band 311. I'm just kidding.
Very nice. I'll tell you what, if you go out there and take a look at it, you can see where exactly everything is now. You can see them roughing in the grade for it. And it is a really, really large site that is going to be pretty exciting to see.
Rochelle, do you have the second video that focuses on the pump track? Because I thought they were equally as cool.
Oh yeah, thank you. Let me try that again. Whoa, did I just close out? Okay, stop me if I'm geeking out. There's no video.
No, we're gonna let you go.
We're gonna. Okay, let's see here. And can you see at least the screen trying to think there? Can you see it?
Just the highlighted video one is all.
Okay, hold on. Okay, let me try this again. Thanks for being patient, you all. This is I'm asking my computer to do a lot. So see if I can. Here we go. Yes?
Yes.
All right. So you should be able to see, so there's the jump line right here to the north of the park. There's a advanced, intermediate, and beginner line. And so if you go down there, like if I go down with my 8-year-old, he can run these intermediate lines, take, this swoopy switch back, and then do this, and then come all the way back up and session it again. And then here you have these jumpers and kickers that roll all the way through, and then end right where the asphalt meets the concrete, and it'll loop you back towards the start of the ride. And then in the background there, you can see all of the jump line where, you can get going and just keep riding and pumping through all those different rollers. And sorry, it's a little glitchy because it's thinking, but. And then those ramps are going to be pretty cool if you want to roll through them and get gutsy. And it sounds like the great thing is skaters and bikers, especially skaters, will enjoy some of the elements of the pump track as well. So it's really just a whole, you can see how massive it is from the top. So yeah, an aerial.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay. Deer Point Park, how we doing there?
Deer Point Park. So we took let me refresh my memory. We took the final concept through the council, and the council was in support of the final park concept. One of the things they were very excited about was a full court basketball and potentially covered. So you can see here the full court is in this dotted line here. And then we are working with Lengo Hansen to come up with quotes on what it would look like, the cost to cover it. And then going with the direction of having the full court, which is great. It's going to be a really exciting amenity for this park. There'll have to be some retaining walls included in the cost of that because of the topography of the site. And so that will also be something that will eventually put into the rough order of magnitude or the cost estimate. But this is the concept that will be moving forward that will work into the construction documents. And you can see based on the Parks Board feedback that we did have the meandering trail that abuts sort of more of a natural space and natural feel. To the left of it, you have the grass, and then this is ADA compliant as it swoops down into the park. We will have a shelter. There'll be a combination of nature play and some different park elements or play elements in that open space, or you can see kind of where that play area is. And then as you're walking towards the full court basketball, and then there's a little grassy area represented by number 4 where people can picnic and hang out and watch kids and families on the playground and the full basketball court. So,
Very nice.
moving along nicely.
Do we want to circle back to the Cedar Park sign?
Yeah, I think
Oh.
that'd be good.
Sorry, that was the last bit we had on that one.
And actually, could I just throw in something too, when you're done with that, Rochelle, on Cedar Park?
Yeah, absolutely. And then real quick, Cedar Park, one of the things, we're in the process right now of a sign variant, and this will be the entrance sign as you go into Cedar Park. And the way it's written in code, we have to take this because the letters are a little bit larger and a little bit, they're wider and taller than what code normally allows. So we do have to go through a little bit of a land use variance. But you can see here, there is a nod to the Sandy style. There'll be a stone facade at the base. And then the letters actually are staggered and become more of a play feature. And so people can sit on them, they can interact with them. As the light hits it, there'll be a sun or shadow on each of the lights, really creating sort of this artsy, really show-stopping entrance to Cedar Park. And so this will go before the council on June 3rd, and the council is considered quote unquote the sign committee per code. There used to be a sign committee, but I guess many years ago the sign committee became the council. So they will see this rendition of the Cedar Park sign and then hopefully stamp their approval on the design. And Chelsea, is there one more picture of this?
No, I think that was it on this one.
Okay, go back, go up.
There was one that, there you go.
There we go. Yeah. That gives you an idea of the size of it. And again, there's space for people to sit and hang out. And so it really kind of becomes an element of the park that, it's a really unique sign, and potentially could be a sign that we transition over into all of our future parks. And if people, respond to this positively, we don't as a department have a sign like standard. So this could help us with that if this is something positive. So.
Very nice.
Will, did you have a question about Cedar Park?
Actually, more of a comment, and it just kind of formulated while we were talking, so this might be a little rough, but between Peck's Hairdresser and you using the word jump line, and I'm pretty well versed in extreme sports, but I had to Google jump line. I wonder if it's worth thinking about some kind of PSA, whether it's a written description, an FAQ, whatever it is, on what a skate park is. I mean, for the average Sandy resident taxpayer, et cetera, that's not 16 or 65 and still breaking bones, to kind of help them visualize what that is. And not just, we're talking a lot about the pump track and the bike park and Red Bull and all of this stuff, but I mean, maybe a little bit more mainstream too about, the play structures. That word I can't even pronounce, where you walk along the ropes and stuff. What's that called?
Oh, the parkour.
Parkour, yeah. And things like that, and like descriptive and kind of like weighting them like maybe a paragraph on each, you know, where the pump track's just as important as the playground as the parkour. Anyway, that was just my random thoughts that I hope I articulated so you guys understood.
That sounds like a great idea. Maybe call it park lingo or something, you know, to put out there.
Will, thank you. Yes, and that's a fantastic idea. We have a dedicated website, and it would be really a good thing to put on our website. Like, what is a jump line? What is a pump track? And you're right, I have gotten that question quite a few times, and so it would be where it's naturally in my language to a lot of people, I forget that it doesn't, occur to them what that actually is. So that's a great example. Or suggestion. So we'll do that for sure.
Mr. Wallace.
Yeah, and one of the great things about working with Spoken Wheel, those are the designers of the logo, is that with that branding package also comes a 3 to 5 minute like intro video about the park, what it is, who it affects. It'll involve community members and skaters in the community and just people who use it. And I think that video can speak to those and kind of like show it off too. So not even just a description, but like a visual of what it is and how it's used. And you also get like a shorter video, like a 30-second video and some pictures that go along with it. So I think we can tie that in to that branding package when they come out, when it's open as well.
Very nice. All righty. Well, those are all the agenda items up to staff updates. We covered a lot of updates there, but do you have any more for us?
Yeah, I'll jump in here real quick. Just wanted to give the group a heads up. This last Monday, the council had a work session regarding transportation system development charges. And one of the focuses was, what do they adopt a methodology? Do they raise the transportation SDCs? And inevitably, and as we anticipated, Parks SDCs did come up, and the conversation. And I would encourage, if you have a chance as the Parks Board, please, go check out that meeting. It does talk about transportation, water, and sewer SDCs. One of the things the council desires is to evaluate all SDCs at one time. And one of the topics that did come up, and I just want to put on everybody's radar, is the Parks SDCs came up in that they will probably be evaluated in the future. There was some talk about the level and evaluating if that was a level that the council was comfortable with or if they wanted to lower it. So I just wanted to put that out there just as we move into the next year, because it could be something as a Parks Board we would want to take a look at and evaluate. One of the things that did come out of it, the resolution in 2022 did have an implementation where the SDCs were adopted or were raised gradually annually every year, July 1st. And if you recall, last year they froze it. They did not raise it July 1st. They kept it at the 8,900. What they decided to do this year, while they were waiting for the transportation SDCs implementation, the water and sewer, they did decide to go forward with raising the Parks SDCs July 1st to, I believe it was 12,000. I can give you an exact number here. So in July, we'll see the fee will be raised to $12,117.67. So while the council is debating that and the other SDCs, we will see an increase in July, and then that subject will come up again. And I just wanted to make the Parks Board aware that that is a conversation that's being had. They briefly discussed fee in lieu, but that was just a minor thing that came up. It was more on the SDCs and Parks SDCs. So,
Well, keep us posted. That's would be an unfortunate situation if we were to roll those back a little bit. I wouldn't want to be the person to have to call up all the folks out of Deer Point and say, hey, sorry about that, just kidding. Guess we don't have the STCs after all to do what we promised you we would do. And then to add a covered basketball court on there to make that the most expensive thing. Kind of is seems like a contradiction to me. But we'll hope for the best and see what happens, and if we get the opportunity, I wouldn't mind sharing my thoughts with them a little bit.
And I'll make sure to keep the Parks Board updated on any movement on that. And I think that would be a wonderful thing for the Parks Board to advocate for. And I know Will came and testified earlier on too. And so anybody that would be interested from the Parks Board, that would be I know the council really respects and looks up to the Parks Board as far as recommendations. So. And I guess I don't have any other reports. I feel like that this meeting was an update on what the department's working on. John, Tiana, I don't know if there's anything else. Chelsea, you guys want to add that we didn't cover?
I'll say two quick things. Yappy Hour, our first canine carnival, May 16th at Bluff Park. You should come and participate. That's it. It's going to be cool. We've got multiple departments there that are putting on like carnival games for dogs. So there'll be a kissing booth that you can take your photo of your dog giving you a kiss on like a photo booth strip. There's bobbing for tennis balls. There's pie eating contests. There's agility courses. Boring Brewing is going to be there serving beer, cider, and hot dogs. It should be a pretty cool thing. And it's a time for us to show off our newly revamped dog park and our shelters and stuff. And then secondly, since our last time, I think we talked about the March for Meals is kind of nationally recognized as Meals on Wheels Awareness Month. And there's a fundraising campaign, and it was Carolina's first go at kind of coordinating, putting this campaign together. And with multiple partners, multiple restaurants involved, a raffle involved, we were able to raise $3,200 to help support our Meals on Wheels, which was went from nothing to 3,200. And our goal when we started was like 1,000. Does that seem like a decent goal? And we thought so, and kind of blew it out of the water. And we're impressed with support and sponsors from restaurants, community members, all the way from the coast to up the mountain. So that's all. Thought that was pretty worthy of sharing. She did a great job, and proud of the community for like showing up and supporting a cause that's worthy.
Good. Good deal. Any comments, concerns, questions, observations from board members? Nope. Well, in that case, we will call the meeting to a close and see you all in next month. Beck, do you have